illegally.
No, I did not. I never booked anything.
On a Virgin Cruises vessel docked in Florida, federal officers boarded to investigate a woman detained by ship security for suspected credit card fraud. She had already been flagged for a fraudulent booking. The woman claims an online contact offered to book her a cruise worth over $1,200 for just $500 cash. She does not know the person's name or how to reach them, and says she paid the full amount in cash. Officers immediately challenge the logic. No rational person subsidizes a stranger's cruise at a steep loss without expecting something illegal in return. Her explanation has no credible economic foundation.
Huh? Yes, what she asked you to do on the ship?
Nothing right now.
No one in their right mind is gonna let you pay $500 for a voyage that's well over $1,200 for you to do absolutely nothing, and you don't even know this person.
But it was going to be a free ride here. Come on board the ship, charge whatever you want, and you ain't going to get caught.
Somebody asked you to come on the cruise ship and do something.
No, she just no. No.
She just what?
She just what?
Go ahead.
Nothing.
What did she tell you to do? Whoever she is. Listen,
but it should be my name though.
Why did the person tell you to come on the cruise today? You've never been on a cruise before. You booked your cruise recently. Who told you to come on the cruise?
Someone booked the cruise, and they told us they asked about the excursions, and basically it was something to do to get away.
So someone told you to book the cruise. They booked it for you. Who is that someone?
I don't know her.
How did you find out about her?
So some stranger just...
No, it was on the internet.
It was on the internet. So some stranger on the internet that you don't know
basically saying
hey, I'll pay for your cruise.
If you do what?
If you do what?
No, you have to pay. You have to pay them. You have to cash out money and everything. I never asked no questions, how much or none of that. She told me I need to get her some money up front, all that stuff.
So it's through Cash App. So you have the invoice on the Cash App app.
Not Cash Apps. She stay in the city, so I can actually go up. Yeah.
So did that same person tell you to get this?
Huh?
Did that same person, the Cash App? Same person we're talking about, the lady. Did she tell you to get this?
No, that was for something totally different. Yeah, that wasn't for the cruise.
But what did she tell you to do on the cruise?
Nothing. She asked if we want to go and to pay her. That's it. That's all.
So what did you pay her? How much?
Yeah.
How much did you pay her?
Huh?
How much did you pay her?
Just a couple hundreds.
You paid her a couple $100 to go on a cruise?
Yes.
Give me a number.
500.
So $500 to go on this cruise today.
Yes.
What did that $500 give you?
Her and to go on the excursions.
Excursions?
Yeah. But we never did the excursions though.
How much did it cost to book a cruise today? How much did it cost?
I don't know. He told me I owed $1,200.
So who's the lady? What's her name?
I don't know her name.
Then how did you pay her?
Because I went through... I don't know the lady name. I barely even know the lady like that. But
so you paid $500 to be on this ship today.
Yes,
even though it cost you over $1,200 to actually be on the ship. So who paid for the difference?
She said all I had to do was just pay for my flight.
So you only paid for your flight?
Yes, and gave her my money.
What did she ask you to do on the ship?
Nothing. Huh?
Yes, what did she ask you to do on the ship?
Nothing right now.
No one in their right mind is gonna let you pay $500 for a voyage that's well over $1,200 for you to do absolutely nothing.
Under continued questioning, she admits she suspected the arrangement was a scam but proceeded anyway. Her admission of willful disregard for obvious illegality satisfies criminal intent under federal fraud law. Officers reveal the scheme. She was instructed to board the ship, cancel pre-booked excursions charged to stolen cards, and allow refunds to flow back to the fraudster. A classic credit card cash-out operation. Officers discover multiple credit cards in her purse, none belonging to her, all declined when run by ship security. Under 18 U.S.C. Section 1029. Possessing unauthorized access devices with intent to defraud is a federal felony. Possessing 15 or more unauthorized access devices in a single incident triggers enhanced penalties under 18 U.S.C. Section 1029, carrying up to 10 years federal imprisonment per count. The quantity of cards here is significant. Officers also discover a fraudulent identification document in her wallet. Under 18 U.S.C. Section 1028, Possession of a forged ID is a standalone federal felony, carrying up to 5 years imprisonment, entirely separate from the card fraud. The unknown recruiter who organized this scheme online likely faces federal wire fraud exposure under 18 U.S.C. Section 1343, which carries up to 20 years per count. The subject on camera is the low-level participant, not the architect.
And you don't even know this person. So
I thought it was a scam.
you
But
thought
I just, yeah, I thought it was, but I did.
why did you think that?
Because she was saying she could do it and then can't, so.
She said what? Can you repeat that? I'm not sure what you said. Can you repeat yourself?
I thought I wasn't gonna be able to do it. But she told me to just book the plane ticket, and then she was like, you know, you gotta leave.
You leave and then what?
Come here.
And then what?
Be on the cruise.
And do what?
She said we do the drinking. Shit, I ain't even did. I ain't.
Do the drinking. What
Yeah,
else?
do the drinking, get off the boat, do what we need to do. Other than that, that's it.
Before you said that the lady wanted you to take excursions?
No problem.
Okay, but you didn't take them.
No, not today.
Before we ask you any question, you have to understand your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions, and you have a lawyer with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer,
I'm getting locked up.
Let me finish, please. You have a right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any question, and you have a lawyer with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you for any question if you wish. Do you understand these rights as I have read them to you? I just wanted to ask you some questions. All right? All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want the door shut, officer?
I'm finna get locked up.
We're gonna get to that. Fake. Real. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Where's the credit cards?
I don't have any credit card.
The credit cards you tried to use.
Wait, what you mean? I haven't tried to use anyone's credit card on here.
Huh?
I haven't tried.
Is this your purse?
Yeah. Them not no debit cards on here.
Are these yours? This is your purse, correct?
Yeah.
So what were you using to pay for the ship, the drinks, the food?
They said it was already paid for, so.
Well, they have you trying to make purchases because obviously they charge you back.
No, I haven't even made any purchases.
Who's Mark Curry?
That's my uncle. I just was telling him that. And he should have
That was your grandpa. You changed Miss Miranda?
we could call him. Matter of fact, we could call Danielle Harvey to verify that.
Why do you have a fake ID?
Somebody made that for me a long time ago. Yeah. I forgot that was even in my wallet.
Yeah, and also to see which card was paid for reservation. Yeah, I'm here. You can help me. I'm here. My CV works. Okay. So our financial accountant will be here and will be everything.
You there?
He will do this full experiment.
Hello, how are you? I'm on a cruise ship. How are you? Because it's a fraud case, they were using credit cards that were stolen, and I'm here trying to unfuck it. Something like that. What's up? Probably. Oh, I know. I don't think I'll get there. I gotta undo this thing. I already called Haley on this. Haney had a similar case about 2 months ago.
I gotta go. Call me, okay?
Yeah. I'll let you know how it goes.
You said the lady that booked the cruise for you with her card?
I guess, yeah.
You guess? You said that she also booked the excursions for you prior to you getting on the ship?
Yeah.
And then what? You were supposed to come aboard, cancel the excursions, so she got the money back?
Yes, no. Is that what was happening? You do know.
Officers read Miranda rights more than 5 minutes into a custodial interrogation. Under Miranda v. Arizona, rights must be advised before questioning begins. Key incriminating admissions made prior may be subject to suppression in court. Beyond federal charges, the woman faces Florida statutes section 817.6 for credit card fraud and section 831.01 for possession of a forged identification document, both third-degree felonies under Florida state law. Inventory of her belongings also reveals marijuana, adding a controlled substance charge under Florida statutes, section 893.13. Each additional charge compounds her sentencing exposure and eliminates any chance of prosecutorial leniency. Officers criticize Virgin Cruises for failing to verify that cardholder names match the identity of the booking passenger, a basic fraud prevention measure that would have stopped this scheme before she ever boarded the ship. She argues arrest is unjust because the cards were never used for purchases. Officers correctly explain that possession of fraudulent access devices with intent is the crime itself, regardless of whether a transaction was ever completed.
Was that what you were told to do? What did she tell you to do? Remember how I said we have facts? Okay.
Yeah.
Remember how I said I can continue to give the facts along the way because we know you're not being truthful. So what did she tell you to do with the excursions? She tell you to cancel them?
I just canceled one.
Yeah, so.
You didn't answer my question. She tell you to
Right,
cancel.
that's what she told you to do.
I only
Go
canceled
ahead. She told you to go ahead and cancel the excursion so she gets the money back. Right.
Cabana. But they said you can't get money back anyway. Y'all just on your account.
Why don't you start from the beginning?
Yes.
What happened?
So basically, we're notified from the shoreside office that it was fraudulent activities on the credit card, that it's reported that it's not authorized payment, and then it came to us.
Was this the card they used to book the trip?
So no, it's different card.
So how did you get alerted that the fraud was on it?
Wow, that's something that we need to check with the office.
So you went and checked the card, but you went and talked to the people? What happened after that?
Ma'am, just set
They
your
let
phone
you know
down,
that the
okay?
card was
Please.
not used?
So we don't have the contact with the from shoreside. You can speak that I don't.
I just need
Yeah.
a coherent story
Yeah,
here.
so basically we were notified from the office that fraudulent activity was done on the card. We
Okay.
cannot collect the payments
Okay, and that was for charges on board the ship?
and the voyage fare as well.
So it was for the voyage?
Yeah, of course for the voyage. Of course, and it's two different cards are used. One it's used for the payment for the voyage, and apparently the different one is here on board.
A different card that was here? All right. But you don't know who the card belongs to that was fraudulent?
No, they're not giving us that. That's from our shore side. Shai Azobel is our chief security officer for the company. They give us only what we need to follow up here. But
So you don't even know the card name on the person's name on the card?
so I think that could be helpful from Harry.
So they don't have, because that communication that we received was by email, so we don't have all.
Okay.
Can your offshore security advisor get that for you guys in order for us to?
Yeah, it will be financial department from Sunset. Yeah.
Would they be?
So how do you determine that it was her?
They gave us the numbers.
Numbers for what?
Cabin numbers.
All right, but how do we get to this lady?
So by the booking number and by the
Was she the only one in the room?
yes.
All right. And she was the one, do you have video of her trying to make these charges?
We don't have that shore side. It's everything booking are done pre-voyage.
Okay, so you don't have video of her using the card illegally? Okay. So all we have is a fake ID? Okay.
Yes, they're
I will show
using.
you, this is the email that we received, like with the title.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Okay, what do you guys want done?
From our side, we will try to charge the credit cards.
Well, it's not gonna work.
Yeah,
But see, for me to make a charge, I have to have a victim. I have a card that's bad, but I don't have the card.
We follow up what you need to follow up.
So yeah,
We just
she's not carrying either card made with the voyages or with any of the excursions. She's not carrying.
So you
either.
don't check cards when they come on?
So there is a system how they put online payment if it goes through.
But you, okay, I think there's a flaw there. All right, well, you're going, so let's go. You're being arrested, by the way. And don't touch your phone. Okay? Do you have anything to say?
Can I tell?
No.
Is she?
No.
Okay.
So they're all getting kicked off. You're getting charged. You're getting charged with a felony for possessing a fake ID. Yes, that's happening.
Okay.
You got involved in this thing,
Okay.
and this is how it's ending. You knew it was a possibility, correct? They probably told you there was no way they could do
listen.
that.
The ID didn't have nothing to.
I know, but
Okay.
they're still charging you for it.
Okay.
Do you understand? You got into this.
Okay. All right.
All right, get up.
Can we
What?
can try to charge this card in her name? Is it
No, you
possible?
don't need to touch my coins. Cause I just told him we could do it.
She is placed under arrest. Her purse, phone, and fraudulent cards are seized as evidence. She is removed from the vessel and will be transported to a Florida jail facility to face arraignment on multiple felony charges. Virgin Cruises receives a D. Their shoreside fraud alert system worked, but critical communication gaps left investigators without victim card identification, directly hampering the ability to file credit card fraud charges at arraignment. The officers receive a C. They identified the scheme and made a legally justified arrest under credit card fraud and identity theft statutes. However, administering Miranda 5 minutes into questioning is a serious procedural error. The woman receives an F. She knowingly participated in an organized fraud scheme, possessed multiple fake cards, a fraudulent ID, and marijuana. She was charged with a felony and banned for life from Virgin Cruises. Every step was self-inflicted. The takeaway: willful blindness is not a legal defense. Participating in a scheme you suspect is illegal satisfies criminal intent under federal law. A cheap vacation is not worth a federal fraud record and permanent consequences. Cruise lines remain a target for organized card fraud when identity verification at booking is absent. Law enforcement must administer Miranda before any custodial questioning begins. Both failures are preventable and both carry real legal cost.
He just took all day just to do it.
Where's the cards you used?
I don't got no coins. I told him he could use, if I could use tap, he said no.
Where's the cards you used to buy the purchases?
I didn't do it. Somebody else was before me.
Still not willing to give up.
Can I let her know that I'm...
No, you're under arrest. All courtesy is gone.
Okay.
You been arrested before?
No.
Never.
Traffic tickets. That's it. How long I'm gonna be like
We'll provide
Not
you
my problem.
from the office. They will provide you.
You want to help yourself? Start talking. You don't want to help yourself? I don't really care. You got yourself into this mess. They told you what's going to happen, and they told you how to do this whole scam. You understand? Do you?
Yes.
You're a big girl. You understand exactly what happened. You thought it was going to be a free ride here, come on board the ship, charge whatever you want, and you ain't going to get caught. But guess what? You're caught.
No.
You want to help yourself? Yes or no?
Yes, you still gonna lock me up for the ID. I ain't do nothing.
Oh, you did something. Listen, look, I can write this report real easy. Credit card fraud on board the ship.
No.
Extremely unhelpful. Didn't want to help herself.
Okay.
Charged her with it. And then I just dump it in. Or I could write in, she was very sorry for what she did. Well, she understood, she got involved in a scam. She had no idea about it.
I didn't. That's what I was just explaining to her. I never knew it was a scam, the excursions or...
You knew that credit card wasn't good, and you told them when to do the buyback on that thing. You think that's legal?
Say it again?
The buyback on the cruise excursions. You think that's legal?
No, I never did a buyback.
When you cancel.
Oh. All I did was the cabana thing for tomorrow. That's the only thing that was canceled. Nothing else was canceled for the parasailing.
And who gets the money for that?
The man told me that it goes on the
Man? Who's the man?
that I came down here to talk to someone at the front desk.
But who's the lady? That's the question, because you told me it's the lady.
Who was that?
Yes,
Who is Ann?
someone that I met through a person.
Yeah, but you see how I said someone who I met. Remember we talked about that. That's not helping. You're not helping yourself. Who is Ann?
Somebody I met through somebody.
Come on, let's go.
I met her.
So before you go, just if you can try to charge the cards for the voyage.
Okay. You can, if you want to. So if he was to charge my cards, then what?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, well put my purse down. Because if you gonna charge my cards, I'm still getting locked up.
Yes, because it's a different felony. It doesn't have to be on this one.
Okay, well no. I don't know. Go ahead. I don't even care.
Did you have any working credit card?
Huh? Can I tell her that I want to be locked up?
Is it the site that had one zero? What?
I have another passenger that was in possession of small quantity of marijuana. I want to ask if I can hand over
Give it to the other guy. And I got enough problems with this thing already. Lord, man. Dumping everything on me.
I know you do.
Yeah, I know. They keep dumping stuff on me like I'm their personal security. What's up?
That was my little bit of weed. That's a problem?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm from Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Okay. And anything else that you need from them, for sure will be there. Okay.
All this background information, the payment system and everything.
From what's going
Shy can give you.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, that would be great. 'Cause if we have a name that's associated
They
with it.
will have over there. We don't have here because of the breach.
I call you also for
Hold on.
another thing.
Hold on. Back up.
You know him also? Maybe.
You don't go until I say so. You understand?
Okay. Okay.
We have another situation with another sailor that we found him in possession of marijuana.
Okay.
It's small quantity.
You can handle that.
Listen, clear your hallway out there so she doesn't talk to her.
So with them, we don't meet this one.
Yeah.
Give it a size.
Think I got it, yeah?
Sorry for... Okay.
Come on, man.
I was just trying to tell someone who I came with.
No, you don't get that luxury.
I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, you did. You're using illegal credit cards on board the ship, and you
I
booked the
haven't
ship with
used
it.
it. No, I did
And you booked your
not.
cruise illegally.
No, I did not. I never booked anything.
I got the card that she booked the cruise with the last 4 digits. I got it.
All right. So you were on board with ship cards and none of them worked.
I told him,
So how do you explain that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
asked him, did he use Apple? Did they have Apple Pay or Tap? I asked him. He said no.
You came aboard a cruise ship with a ton of credit cards. None of them
Yep.
worked, except especially the ones in your name.
Okay.
It has to be in your name.
Yeah, and Tap is in my name. Apple Pay.
You held them up enough. Let's go.
Okay.
Do you want to take anything else? Phone? Anything? So,
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
No. Here, go through this. I don't need to check you.
Can I get it?